What's up, guys? Your girl Luca here, back for another video after 6 months, and it's actually on a topic I find quite interesting, and it comes down to how these developers tend to react and respond to player feedback. Now, let's talk about Spider-Man 2. Now, Spider-Man 2, I actually recently beat it. I beat it on Tuesday. Overall, I had a great time with it. Great experience. I enjoyed the story, but there were certain aspects of the story that I did not really like. I didn't vibe with very much, and there were certain elements of gameplay that I didn't vibe with very much. But overall, fun time. Now, one of the elements of the gameplay I did not really enjoy was, again, the inclusion of the Mary Jane missions. Now, I am someone who played Spider-Man 2018 and Spider-Man Miles Morales like a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that, right? And had a great time with it. With my biggest issue in Spider-Man 2018 being the inclusion of some miscellaneous missions that I just personally was not really a fan of. Like, did I do them? Yes. I caught all those pigeons. I caught all the pigeons, man. I did, yeah. But not really a fan of it. And I honestly speaking, I wasn't a big fan of MJ's character as a whole in that game. Listen, female empowerment, I get it, man. They had to make her more Lois Lane-esque compared to Mary Jane. They wanted to make her a whip smart, strong woman, right? By making her extremely obnoxious and she deliberately putting herself in danger and being like, I don't need you to save me, Pete. And then needing Peter to save her, right? Like, not really a big fan of that kind of personality quirk when it comes to women, right? Personally, right? But yeah, it was I hated her missions, forced to play as her. Honestly speaking, it seems like it was a universal experience. Universally, people did not enjoy playing as MJ, and Insomniac heard that feedback, and they were like, you know what? We're gonna do what we want, okay? So this article from IGN is by Rebecca Valentine, and it discusses how the Insomniac Spider-Man 2 director explains why those MJ stealth scenes had to be included, right? They were well aware that people did not enjoy those aspects of the game, okay? And so apparently the missions have been upgraded from loathe to merely divisive, which is true. I see more and more people coming out and saying like, oh, I actually like the missions, or oh, it was fine, it didn't bother me all that much. I'm just like, cool. It still bothered me, okay? And it really just comes down to this for me. When I'm playing a game as Spider-Man, I want to play as Spider-Man. I don't want to play as his girlfriend, okay? Or I want to play as a spider person. I want to play with someone who has powers, okay? It's that simple. I'm playing this game to power, quote unquote, power fantasy, that kind of element, right? I'm not trying to play as MJ. I'm just not. Like, I have no interest in playing as Peter's girlfriend, all right? So, the reason why Insomniac did this, according to, what is this person's name? Lord, Brian Enithar, whatever, respectfully, said Insomniac was well aware that MJ's missions hadn't been anyone's favorite, but they did ponder on foregoing them entirely, instead decided to go a different direction. He said we had two choices. We could say, all right, we'll make it easy and just not do it, and everybody would go, great, no MJ missions. Or we could, hey, we talked about showing the world from all different angles. We talked about showing the world from all different angles. We're going to make her moments better. We're going to take on the challenge. We're going to make people like playing as her. We pick and choose our spots. We knew we had to make her more of a proactive, capable person. And if she's a little OP, I don't give a shit. She's fine. I don't care. If she's a little OP, I don't give a shit. She's fine. I don't care. Now, here's the thing, right? There are certain elements of this statement that I don't agree with. It's his opinion, so it's whatever, and this is just my opinion. I'm just going to offer my perspective on his opinion, right? I don't agree with this concept of, oh, we want to show the world from all different angles, because you playing as Mary Jane, you playing as a woman for 5-minute segments, like 5 times in a game, what are you really showing? Like, what are you really learning? Absolutely nothing. Because I know the concept was, well, you gotta understand the perspective of what it's like to be a woman. Like, okay, like, they're not really showing anything. Put any other regular human in the same spot as MJ would have been the same thing. you don't have powers. There are certain things that you shouldn't be able to do because you don't have powers. And instead of just foregoing her entirely, again, they decided to go the complete opposite route. And they're just like, we're not only are we going to include her, we're going to make her the most capable person in this game, essentially, right? They gave MJ this gun from Sable that was just able to one-shot enemies. Now, here's the thing. The inclusion of the gun itself, that's not necessarily an issue. There were certain aspects of her gameplay that had me scratching my head. Having her, the first section where you play as her, having her go against hunters which were trained and also were capable in their own right before they met Craven, because in several of those missions, the hunter-based missions that you had, you could overhear them speaking to one another and discussing how Craven found them, and all of them were capable in their own right before they even met him, right? You're telling me that this woman who has basically like a couple months of formal training, but nothing before then, was able to sneak up on trained killers, and you expect me to actually, like, she was able to run up to some of them and they didn't hear her running about, nothing. I was like, I don't believe, that's just so unrealistic. And again, it makes sense that it was unrealistic because they deliberately made her OP because they didn't care about making it realistic or not. They just wanted to include her for some odd reason. Like, I have no idea why they felt so compelled to have her included in this game. I don't get it, man. Like, now, here's the thing. I was having this discussion with a couple people. I really don't like how some people seem to think that if you don't like a certain aspect or element of a game, it means that you don't understand it. Listen, this isn't Gone Girl levels of writing, okay? This is a very basic, straightforward story. I understand that at the end of the day, we're supposed to feel like, yeah, MJ, Miles, and Peter are a team. We're all heroes together. Woo! Like, it's so easy to understand. It's a really basic story concept. I'm not stupid, and the rest of us are not stupid either. It's precisely the reason that we can understand and comprehend it that makes us go, okay, cool. I don't like this aspect of the story. I don't want to play as MJ. It's that simple. I just don't want to play as her. I don't need to see I don't need to see the perspective of a woman. I'm a woman. I don't need to see it. Okay? And I don't, what about, there's other people other than you, man, Luca. I don't care about men seeing the perspective of women through this fucking game. Like, be for real. Be so for real right now. It's, in my opinion, stupid. Okay? And it's like, the fact that they heard player feedback and were just kind of like, we actually just don't care about what you guys think about this. We're just going to do what we want. On one hand, I definitely understand the idea of, like, it's their game. They're creating it. They can do whatever they want. They can include whatever they want. It's their creative vision. I definitely get that concept, and I can respect that, right? But on the other hand, it's like, if you have people who enjoyed your game overall, played your game overall, gave you their money overall, and still were just kind of like, hey, would be great if you didn't include these story elements. I'm not really a fan of it. That, to at least do more than just be like, actually, we're going to completely just force you guys to like this. We're going to force y'all to enjoy this. Now, I use the word force. You can just not play the game. Okay, I know. Okay, basic stuff. Like, please don't come in. Don't. I get it, right? But I'm just saying, like, if you are overall enjoying the story and enjoying the gameplay elements, and then you have these segments where you have to play as her, obviously I'm forced to play as her if I want to keep playing the game, because I want to keep playing the game, Now, her story moments, her missions, they were better in the sense that she wasn't deliberately putting herself in danger. And for the most part, right? There were certain parts where she did deliberately put herself in danger, but that's just because she was trying to help and get Peter back. So I can accept that. I can understand that, right? Like, that's her man. I get it. And honestly, MJ and Peter, in my opinion, I feel like I don't know, maybe I'm on like, people do not agree with this. I think MJ and Peter were super cute this game. Like, I love them this game. I thought she was like way more supportive in this game. There were certain things that she did that I didn't agree with, but overall I thought she was a better girlfriend. Well, she wasn't his girlfriend in the last game, but I thought she was a better character in this game. And I'm also one of the people, I'm like, I don't really care about how she looks in this game because I thought her personality was better. Now, again, I might be in the minority there, but whatever, right? But another aspect of her gameplay that really just took me out was when they started having her fight symbiotes. I was like, oh my, these symbiotes were swarming Peter and Miles, but she was holding them back. They were like, you know what, we're going to come at you one by one, babes. We see that you're a normal human. We're going to come at you one by one so you can... No problem, right? Ridiculous. But what really took me out was when they had a behemoth show up and smack her off that ladder, right? Having her bust her shit wide open, pause. And then I was sitting there like, there's no way they're about to have me, Mary Jane, beat a behemoth. And of course, it's like, with the cheese, the environment. Shut up, okay? It's still unrealistic and still ridiculous. And again, that was the point. That was the point they were going for. It's supposed to be unrealistic. They made her OP on purpose. All right? So, not really a fan of that. I don't like the fact that this regular degler human was able to just like pew pew pew, just doing stuff that Miles and Peter were just getting their behinds busted, man. Just getting beat. All right? Just ridiculous. Like, but I feel like I'm in the minority. And at the end of the day, however I may feel about it, and however some other people may feel about this, and the inclusion of these missions, and like the unrealistic aspect of it, and the fact that Mary Jane is now a Mary Sue in like every sense of the word. Regardless of how we feel, it doesn't really matter because the game still sold 2.5 million copies in 24 hours, which is so amazing, so ridiculous. Good for them, honestly speaking. And the game also has universal acclaim. The game's a 90 on Metacritic from critics. I think it's like 138 critics. And then like 5,000 user reviews to 91. The game is a success in every sense of the word. So for Spider-Man 3, if we get a Spider-Man 3, they are tripling down on those MJ missions. Like, oh my goodness, it's going to be... Lord, it's going to be something to get through, man. It's going to be something to get through. But those are just my thoughts on it. I would love to hear yours. It's fine if you disagree. I disagree. I don't care. But just please don't assume that I don't understand what they were doing just because I don't agree with what they were doing. Okay? I'm not like, again, this is not a very difficult story to comprehend. All right? But anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Peace.